Hi everyone, my name is Diane and this is My Pink Bathtub Knits. Welcome. Today I'm here to share with you my experience of my last craft sale, my market that I did just the past week ago. I needed a few days to kind of unwind and regroup and get myself organized around here. So here I am. The market was called Scattered Seeds, and it is the largest market that I have ever done in my crafting career. I've been doing markets for approximately 9 or 10 years and always kind of on the side because I was always working full-time in the school division. Well, when I decided to finally go for it and apply for this market, I told Hubs, look, if I get into this market, I'm going to retire at the end of June because I'm going to need some time to make a lot of product. And if I don't get into this market, and that's okay, I was going to retire this upcoming December. So I got into the market. I was very excited. It was my first time applying, and I was thrilled to be able to be a part of it. So, Scattered Seeds. Scattered Seeds actually started approximately 35 years ago as a humble little market in one of the organizers' homes. They were very inventive in how they did it. There was 5 friends that got together that did various crafts and decided to have a little mini market in their house. And during Halloween time, they put little flyers in their children's trick-or-treat bags when they were giving out candy to advertise around the local neighborhood. Well, I think they got something like 600 people entering their home at this market. They did that for a few years, and then in the 90s, one of the original 5 participants, her name is Deb, decided to create this market called Scattered Seeds. They showcase local talent. It is all handmade. They champion a lot of women and women entrepreneurs as well. And it has grown over the last, I think it's 27 years, into what it is today, which is one of the most well-known markets in Manitoba. Now, it happens over a 2-weekend period at the exhibition grounds in Winnipeg, just outside of the city of Winnipeg. It is actually the same venue that the Manitoba Fiber Fest was located, so it's a very large venue. There's just over 140 booths on each weekend, a few vendors at both weekends, but most of them are unique, and quite often they showcase new talent or new to them talent, and I was just fortunate enough to be one of them. So it was a really great experience. I have to admit I was super nervous. I didn't really know what to expect because it was a personal big deal to me. It was a big deal. And I worked very, very hard preparing for it, if you saw my previous episode about my market prep. So the one thing that was a little different from other markets is you had to provide your own lighting for the venue. They turn down the lights and they make it a very cozy, cool atmosphere. I really liked the vibe. It was just so, I don't even know the word to say. It was just such an inviting kind of atmosphere. Low key, there wasn't these harsh lights, but I have to admit I was a little nervous about how I was going to light my space. I have tables, I have tablecloths, I've got the props, I've been doing this for a while, and normally at many markets you have to bring all of your own things, tables, chairs, what have you, but lighting was a new thing for me. And I was thinking, how am I going to do this without breaking the bank? Again, it was my first year and I didn't really want to invest a lot of money, but I wanted it to look well thought out. I had an idea in my head, it kept coming back to me, and I went with it and it really worked out well. I used an umbrella. I used an umbrella to string my lights inside, and to cast the glow over my table. And it was a half umbrella. I had this vision in my head that seemed really good at the time, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, but it really did pay off in the end. And you'll be seeing some photos of my market display throughout this video. So it worked out really well. I had so many compliments. It was a 3-day market, so it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Thursday you came to set up. And I really appreciated that too, because we were going to do some troubleshooting. Hubs was with me to see the best way to set up. I had my table layout kind of figured out in the space, but opened up the umbrella when I first bought it, put it away, didn't look at it again. And it was 9 feet wide. The booth was 10 feet wide, so it was the perfect size. We took down our personal lighting that we have in our screen room, and Hubs weaved it through the lighting. I had even bought some little gooseneck lighting to kind of clamp onto the table, but I found I didn't really need it. It was enough, and it kind of really came across as quite charming and whimsical, and it really fit with the brand that I was trying to project. So when we set up on Thursday, we decided to go early and give ourselves a lot of time. And it was kind of funny because all you could hear throughout the venue was drills and hammers and people putting up walls. And quite often people would have like a metal scaffolding to kind of string their lights. We just walked in there, popped open up our umbrella, and done. I'm just having a quiet cup of coffee before we start packing up and loading up the car. It's Thursday, the day before the market. And I really enjoy the fact that you can pre-set up the day before. It's an all day. You can come anywhere from 10 to 8 o'clock at night and set up. Now these are going to be some really fancy booths. Mine will not be as fancy, but I have so much stuff to bring that Hubs will be taking me in his truck. And if I forget anything, that's okay, because I can bring it tomorrow when I go for the first day of the market. So I hear a little bit of rumbling upstairs, so I think he is just getting up, and we'll start getting ready. I think we're going to go right away and grab some brekkie on the way there and get it over with for the day. So I have a little bit of time in the afternoon to relax. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. And as you can see, I've of course got one last pair of mittens on my needles to try and just squeak one more thing out. And we'll finish that up tonight. And we'll see what other footage I can share with you. Breakfast time. Pretty easy setup. Another thing that ended up being really a very big hit, and quite often people were coming and approaching me just to tell me how much they liked it, was my hand knit name tag. The back of it is actually just from You know, when you go to a conference and you get like a cardboard name tag and a clip, I use that kind of as the sizing and the actual pin. And I knit this and then I stitched my name onto it and I just wear it. I think it's hilarious. So many people came up and said, oh my gosh, I love your name tag. It made me feel good. It really did. In fact, usually when I do a market, I would say I would only get 1 or 2 people even notice it. Or people would just say, okay, thanks a lot, Diane. And I think, how do they know my name? Oh yeah, I'm wearing a name tag, I forgot. So I had a tall stool that I would sit at. And during the market, if I felt a little fatigued or wanted to sit, I would just sit at it, and it was at the height where I could literally be eye to eye with customers. So that was really nice and comfortable on the back. And I would knit. I always would make like 1 pair of mitten a day. I called them my market mittens because sometimes I would be knitting away and really the pattern is in my head. I've made so many pairs of these mittens. I don't need to look at a pattern. It's muscle memory at this point. But I would be knitting away and talking to someone and they would be amazed that I could just knit without looking. But often I would maybe knit 1 too many rows and I would look down and go, oh, I gotta pull a few stitches out and kind of get back into the pattern. But I've always knit at my markets because it's a bit of a nervous energy thing. It's something to do with your hands. You're not just sitting there looking at people walking by. It's just a great thing to do, and people always seem to comment. In fact, I had so many great conversations over the weekend with knitters. It's not all about just buying your product, it's about the conversations and engagement that you have with the people that are at the market. And I had so many great, there was 2 ladies in particular, I'm like, I want to be your friend and can I come over and knit with you? One of them was named Cherise and the other one was named Lisa. And Lisa was there with her 2 daughters. All 3 of them are knitters. We talked about knitting. They asked me a question about how I did a certain stitch to make something look a certain way. They were awesome. Here's what it looked like from a mezzanine of just how large the market actually was. This is just before we turned down the lights. So as a newcomer to this market, I was really fortunate to have a friend named Krista who had done the market for several years. She kind of helped me and she came over and checked in on me a few times. Unfortunately, our booths were very far apart. Here is Krista and the beautiful infused glass that she makes. Yep, I was wearing pink Crocs that day. So this is Krista's booth. Her company name is Swai Designs, and I'm gonna leave the info for her Instagram page in my notes below. She makes gorgeous things out of glass. She has her own kiln at home, and she creates ornaments. She has fridge magnets. She does beautiful birds. It's just unbelievable, the things that she makes. And she is a huge supporter of other makers. Just a lovely person. You don't say it, it's not sway, it's, how do you say it?
I say it's
So why? Okay. And is that from when you taught overseas?
I taught in Thailand and...
Is it a Thailand?
Yeah, the word swai means beautiful.
Okay. Oh, these are beautiful. I was wondering if you wanted to go get our picture taken really quick.
Let's do it.
Because it's kind of died down. I wanted to feature you on my little channel and shout you out. Swai. I did the market by myself. I didn't have a helper come in and help me. The space was small. Where was I going to put them? Hubs was on holidays and he was more than willing to come and help, but I mean, he's like 6'4", he's a big guy. There's really nowhere for two people to be in my table space. The other great thing about being at the market is having market neighbors, having your booth neighbors. And both of my booth neighbors on either side of me had done the market before. So they gave me a few tips about the traffic flow and things that were happening there, what the peak hours were and not to be surprised if it slowed down. And they were also just a lot of fun. Like at the end of each day, we're like, see you tomorrow. And then we come in and be like, how'd you sleep last night? You know, it was really nice. So here is some footage of my two great neighbors. Meet Louise and Ben from ProPEGate. Peg as in Winnipeg. Okay, well tell me a bit about your work here then, since we're videoing.
Well, we just made a nice little vessel for a way to root your plants instead of a typical mason jar or shot glass.
And you can do dried plants?
Exactly, you can do dried, you can do flowers.
I could see the bigger ones having like knitting needles in them, just saying. Is this the largest size?
Yes, yeah.
They're very test tubey, cool kind of.
Scientific looking.
And how long have you two been in business?
Since 2020, just once the pandemic started, it gave us something to do.
Fantastic.
Got ourselves jobless.
Yep. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Such a cute couple. The other side of me was a booth owned by TJ, Wood and Grain Winnipeg on Instagram. I'll tag him below. Beautiful, beautiful cutting boards, charcuterie boards made from wood from all over the world. I was surprised to find that the colors of the wood that were all inlaid was the natural color of the wood, and it was brought out just by using oil on them. Beautiful, beautiful work. And there's TJ. What a goofball. He was so much fun to be beside. Every day I change the setup. So I put the hats up top and the mittens on the table. The toddler mittens have sold out, so I have the little chicks from the first day. And this is the day 2 setup. And on day 3, I put teddy bears in a picnic basket. This is all I have left of my mittens. I had over 80 pairs of mittens when I started. And I've included the fox stole. I always enjoy it when customers tell me a little bit about the backstory, about who they're buying my product for. It just makes it a little more meaningful to me. And, I always know it's going to a good home. Quite often this time of year, people are purchasing for gift giving, for the holidays. I'd say two particular conversations I had really stood out. The first one was I was contacted through my Instagram with a photo of this, asking if it could be made. to be picked up at the market. I'm like, absolutely, no problem. So I made one, a bunny bear in the color yellow that the customer requested. She'd been following me on Instagram for a while, and she came and picked it up right away on Friday. So I asked her, oh, do you have someone special that you're giving this gift to? And she said, it's for my mother's 60th birthday party. I thought it was so cute. She said her mother actually sent her the photo and said to her daughter, I want you to get me this for my 60th. So that was really special. So many great stories over the years of people gifting my products and sharing with me about the products, sending photos of people that they've gifted or given the items to, always is special to me as well. Years ago, I used to make a lot of sock monkeys. I do from time to time, but I just love making sock monkeys. In fact, it was the first toy I ever made was a sock monkey. So one year at a market, I had an older couple standing a little far back from my booth, my table, and kind of giggling to each other and smiling. And they sheepishly approached me and asked me about my monkeys and said, we would like to buy one. We're going to buy one for our son. I'm like, okay, great. Which one would you like? They picked one out. And then they say, our son is 57 years old. He used to have a monkey as a little kid and would carry it around with him nonstop. I asked them, what was the monkey's name? Because I always suggest to people that they should name their bunny bears or what have you. Oh, he just named it Monkey. But they just thought it was so hilarious. They were going to gift it to him at Christmas as a bit of a nostalgic thing. And I just thought, I've never, ever forgotten that story. He's 57 years old. The other item that kind of stuck in my mind was this pair of piggy toddler mittens that a lady purchased. She was purchasing it for her granddaughter, and she was shipping it to China. So we got into the conversation, well, what's your granddaughter doing in China? Her son went there to teach English, fell in love, and has been there ever since. So that was a real cool story as well. So how did I do at this market? As you know, I made a lot of stock. The most stock I've ever made, ever, for a market season, for the entire season. I was trying to knit as much as I could because my next market is in 1 month and I can only make so much stuff in a month. So I sold out of the toddler mittens pretty much on Friday. I had 2 pairs left and they went first thing on Saturday. So all the toddler mittens were gone. I know in my heart, if I had more, I would have sold more. And it's a good thing for me to know for next year because I always say, you don't have enough mittens, Diane. Guess what I'm making for the next month till my next market? Mittens. Then I sold out of these chicken hats for the little toddler size. I sold out of my little $10 chickens. I had 30 of those. Those were left over from chicken days. I thought there would be a cute little item, for a stocking stuffer. You can use it as Easter and put a Kinder egg in it. So those all went, which was great. Surprisingly, little things are very hard and piddly to make for me. It's so much easier to make a larger item. And I only have 2 pairs of youth mittens left, so I have to make them. I have maybe 12 pairs of adult mittens left. I had like 50 of those. So mittens, mittens, mittens. That's what I'm making for the next month because I have enough of other variety of things. I had these teddy bears that were left over from last season. I decided to knit little cowls on them. And I found that where you place things on your table, the sight lines really do make a difference. Every single day of the 3-day market, I changed up my display on my table. In some ways, I was a little sick of looking at it the same way. In some ways, there were some holes, so you want to kind of fill them. And I just wanted to kind of jazz it up. So when I was driving home on Saturday, I had like around a dozen of these little teddy bears, and I think I had only sold one over the 2 days. I thought, how can I display them a little different to get them to sell? And I was gifted a few years ago this wicker picnic basket, and my friend sewed me a new lining on the inside in pink. So I had the little chicks in my metal bathtub, and when they sold out, I put a couple things there for the day, but I brought my picnic basket for my last day, and I just I filled it up with all of the teddy bears, like Teddy Bear's Picnic. Well, I only have 2 left now. I sold like 10 of them that day on Sunday. So displays are important, sight lines are important, changing it up is important. So I have sold approximately half of my stock. I didn't have an expectation of how much I wanted to sell at the market. I was new to the market. Talking to some of the other vendors, they said their sales were down from previous years, but the economy has changed a lot. After my Friday and Saturday sales, I was driving in on my final day on Sunday, and I kind of gave myself a sales target, a goal. Wow, in my head, I thought I'd be very happy if I made this amount. Well, I hit that goal. So very, very happy with the entire experience. Everybody was lovely. I have nothing to fault it, and I'm seriously thinking of applying again for next year. Over the 3 days, I had so many people come and visit me as well. I had family, I had friends, my neighbor came to visit me. I had people texting me and checking in who couldn't come to the event. I met lots of new people and had great conversations. Got to see makers that I know and make friends with some new makers. I got to see a few people from my job, so that was really exciting. It was just a great overall event. All I can suggest to you is, if you're a maker, push yourself. You can do it. You can get into larger events. Yes, they are a lot of work, but they can be so rewarding. And it's not just about the sales, it's about the experience. It's about meeting people and getting involved in the maker community and getting yourself out there. So all in all, I had a wonderful time. I am tired, but I feel proud of what I've done also. I've got 2 markets left, but I have a month, so taking a little me time right now, just casually knitting. I've already made 3 pairs of mittens. I will make what I can make. They're smaller events. Probably bring you along. The next one is out of town, so I'm actually fortunate enough to stay with a friend who's not that far from the town that I'm going to. It's a 2-day market. Been on my list of markets to do for quite some time. So that is my experience. I had a fantastic time. It was super rewarding. I'm so glad I did it. Special thanks to Hubs for helping me set up and tear down. It was great. It was really, really great. Thank you for watching me today. I hope you're enjoying whatever fiber arts you're working on, whether you are knitting, crocheting, spinning. Just keep on doing that because it's important. Making handmade items can really fill your soul. So until next time, my friends, take care, be well, be kind, and we will see you real soon. Thanks for watching. If you've ever thought about doing a market, just go ahead and try it. The maker community is amazing, and get yourself out there.